Our session is on capital expenditure and strategy. So far in the course, we've been pretty technical in focusing on how to calculate net present value and what a positive or negative net present value means. In this session, we're going to think about where positive NPVs come from. In doing so, we're going to start with a focus on market values and then describe economic rents and the effect of competitive advantage. The first point is that positive net present values stem from a competitive advantage that the firm has in the market. Strategic decision-making, or the thinking and analysis that a firm does to arrive at the cash flow projections that go into an NPV calculation, identifies the comparative advantage. It in general doesn't identify growth areas or markets where there might be growth, but rather where there is a competitive advantage for the firm itself. The process starts by looking at the market price of an asset or a new business or whatever you have and asking whether the asset is worth more to you than it is to others, to your competitors. That is, do you have a comparative advantage with respect to this asset, this new business opportunity, this project? In evaluating your firm's comparative advantage, you want to think about how long the comparative advantage is likely to last. In particular, you don't want to assume that other firms will watch passively as your firm continues to enjoy profits and positive net present values associated with a particular investment. You want to ask, how long a lead does my firm have over its rivals? And what will happen to prices of the goods or services that we produce associated with this investment when that lead disappears? And you want to ask, in the meantime, while I'm making this profit, how will my rivals react? Will they cut their prices? Will they imitate my product? What will they do that might affect my cash flows and hence my net present value? One way to think about comparative advantage is to understand the concept of economic rents. Rents are defined as profits that more than cover the cost of capital, or profits that generate positive net present value. Positive NPVs, or rents, typically come from one of these sources. One might be that your firm just has a better product. An example here might be Toyota, where the market perceives that Toyota just continues to produce a superior product in terms of durability and in terms of style. Another source of rents or positive NPV is that you have a production cost advantage. That is, you're able to produce your product at lower cost. Here the advantage might derive, or an example might be, that your firm has an overseas production facility that, because it pays lower wages, enjoys a lower cost function. The third source of rents or positive NPV is a location advantage. So it might be that your firm is located in Chicago, and Chicago has an advantage over other locations in terms of efficiency of distribution. Some of these sources of rent are liable to persist over time and allow you to continue to make positive returns on your investment. But more likely, sooner or later, competition will eliminate the rents, either because competition comes up with a way to produce a product that's comparable to yours, or competition comes up with a way to achieve the same cost structure as you have, or competition comes up with a way to eliminate your location advantage. In Chapter 11 of the text, there's a good example of how value depends on competitive advantage and the response of competitors. So I recommend that you read through the Marvin Enterprises example in Chapter 11 of the text to see how strategy and assessment of competitive advantage and market power affects the determination of net present value and the value of the firm.